Lord Alli lent £62,000 to bail out a peer in an expensive scandal. We're going to read into this exclusive from the Times, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from the Times with the headline that Lord Alli lent £62,000 to bail out a peer in an expensive scandal. The multimillionaire gave Baroness Uddin, if I mispronounced the name, apologise, more than half the money needed to repay the £125,000 of expenses she wrongfully claimed. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share us across social media so others are notified of this video. So this exclusive that they have here from the Times, I read a little bit into it already. There's a lot more history here than a lot more history than people know. It's not just a case of Lord Alli obviously gifting some donations and whatnot. There's a lot more to this, and apparently this goes all the way back to the expenses scandal as well. Very interesting to say the least. Now, I can understand some people in the comments will say, but this is from the Times, you can't trust the word that they say. Well, this isn't the Daily Mail, but I would say the Times is a bit more reliant in the so-called some of the right-wing media outlets, shall we say. But I still think this is an interesting one to cover, to say the least. As for this whole situation, I've talked about this already, and I've said it before that there should not be any claims, any donations, or anything of whatsoever. But clearly, Lord Alli has deep connections and has had long connections to the Labour Party. That is for sure over this. So let's read more into this story for those who don't know. So the Labour peer at the centre of the donations row bailed out a baroness after she was found to have wrongly claimed £125,000 in the parliamentary expenses scandal. Lord Alli, a multi-millionaire former banker and fashion entrepreneur, gave a £62,000 loan to Baroness Uddin in more than a decade ago to help her repay the expenses after the Lord's authority ordered her to refund the taxpayer. Sir Keir Starmer would later announce that the Crown Prosecution Service, CPS, which he ran at the time, would not pursue fraud charges against her. The wrongful expenses claim was revealed in 2012 by the Sunday Times, but has resurfaced 12 years on because of Ali's newfound notoriety. I don't know why I can't say that word, I'm sorry. For gifting, donating and gifts, including clothes and glasses to the Prime Minister in his wife Victoria. This is a picture of Uddin who was made appear early in the Tony Blair's premiership back in 1997 there. Uddin, a community campaigner appointed a peer by Tony Blair in 1998, was found to have wrongly claimed £125,000 in parliamentary expenses in October 2010 by stating that her main home was in Maidstone when in fact she lived in Tower Hamlets. The subcommittee on Law's conduct suspended her from the upper house for about 18 months and ordered her to repay the expenses in full before she would be allowed to return. Alli provided about half of the money that she had to repay, which allowed her to return to the upper chamber. The Sunday Times had reported back in 2012. Alli had raised concerns in the Lords in October 2010 that the only three peers referred to by the Committee for Privilege and Conduct, including Uddin, were Asian. He had asked Lord Striphengale, the then leader of the Lords, to look into whether there had been inconsistencies on basis of race and otherwise. So he's claiming here, the claim here is that at the time that it was just she was being targeted because of her colour and not because of other people taking advantage of the system there. Uddin now sits as a crossbench peer. Her recent contributions in the Lords have largely focused on social policy and human rights. Starmer, as Director of Public Prosecutions at the time, announced the CPS decision in March 2010 not to pursue charges against Uddin, saying that there were insufficient evidence she did not occupy the home in Kent. So this was apparently a picture of the home in Kent, apparently. And then this is her home in Tower Hamlet, East London. What the Times are reporting here. So the Times approached Alli, Starmer and Uddin to ask whether Alli made any representations to Starmer or the CPS on behalf of the Baroness before the decision not to prosecute was made. Starmer is understood to have not met Alli until after his election as an MP in 2015, and to have no contact with Labour MPs or peers during the expensive investigation. The Prime Minister's relationship with Alli has come under close scrutiny since it emerged that Labour donor has been granted a Downing Street security pass after the election. Number 10 says the pass was temporary and allowed Alli to attend political meetings. Concerns have been raised that Starmer undervalued a property Alli allowed him to use his declaration of interest and mislead the public by failing to state that $16,000 worth of donations listed is as being to support his office when he was in fact for clothing. Alli has given Starmer a total of £32,000 in clothes, as well as $2,400 for glasses. Angela Rayner, the Deputy Prime Minister, was also accepted donations of $3,550 from Alli for clothing. Rachel Reeves, the Chancellor, accepted clothing from another donor. Starmer said there no further clothing donations would be taken after widespread criticism that those with the wealth to pay for their own clothes should not be accepting freebies when many Labour voters would not have that opportunity. The Prime Minister has paid back more than £6,000 of gifts and hospitality he received since becoming Prime Minister, including 6 Taylor Swift tickets, 4 tickets to Doncaster races and clothing, rental agreements with Edlin E., the designer of whose clothes Lady Starmer wore to the London Fashion Week, and Labour Party conference. On Wednesday, it confirmed that Alli was being investigated by the House of Lords Standards Watchdog for allegedly failing to register interest in relation to a separate matter. Starmer said at the time of the prosecution decision to Uddin's expenses that the allegations against Uddin that she had claimed night substances for overnight stays in London after attendees in the House of Lords, to which she was not entitled to. He added, although she had nominated a flat she owned in Maidstone, Kent, as her only or main residence, it was alleged that her only or main residence was in fact a house in East London. Evidence in this case was obtained from neighbours of Baroness Uddin and from companies supplying utility service such as water, gas, electricity to the flat in Maidstone. But after careful scrutiny of all the available evidence, we have decided that in applying the definition of only and main resistance adopted by the House Committee, there is insufficient evidence to bring in criminal charges to Baroness Uddin, and we have today advised the Metropolitan Police to take no further action. The decision not to prosecute Uddin relied on a ruling by the Lords Clerk allowing peers to nominate their primary home as one they visited at least once a month. The CPS was unable to find conclusive evidence as she spent less time there. Uddin was approached for comment on whether she had repaid the loan to Alli. So what's my thoughts on this entirely? It definitely comes across a bit sneaky. Does definitely a bit. The thing is that I don't. Obviously, it's out. The thing is that he giving that money to Lord Uddin. Surely he would have wanted something in return. I don't think it's just a case of him just lending her the money. It's not just a case of paying it back the loan. There must have been something else from that. There definitely may have been more to the story than we know. I think this exclusive obviously is very, it's interesting to say that Lord Alli stepped in, giving her the money she needed to pay it back so she could be back in the Lords quicker. It does raise some eyebrows, obviously, that's for sure. I don't like it. I don't like all of this. I really don't. I wish, she had just been honest about where she was living. I just wish that Lord Alli was not gifting so much money and donation support like this. It just doesn't feel right. I know some people will say in the comments there is nothing illegal or wrong about what he did or in any way, shape or form. Some people will make that claim. Some people will say no, what they did was wrong. It was breaking the law. I'm of two worlds on this, because a part of me is like, this is. I just wish that this, £62,000 of a loan to Baroness, did they know each other? Like, do they have history? Like, is that there's a lot of things I think are kind of missing out here from this piece from the Times. Like, has there been a long history between the two? Like, or is it just a case he just come out of nowhere and just gives them the money and then that was it? There's a lot of questions and not enough answers, shall we say, on it. Because this was this story already goes all the way back to 2012. Obviously, this wrongful expenses claim. But I just feel like there's a lot of things are shrouded in mystery over this. As for, obviously, I've said this already about the Labour donations. Like, they should never have accepted any of them in the first place. If they cannot afford to buy the clothes they need, then, well, just just go to Marks and Spencer's and get a suit there or something. I get it. It's the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister should be able to buy an expensive suit. Yada yada yada. You're going to tell me that they don't have the money to buy the clothes they need? Like, come on. Like, they're politicians. I just want these gifts and donations to stop. I want it to stop full circle. I want politicians to put some kind of law in to do something. But they've teased and talked about making some changes. Labour have said, but I don't buy that for 1 second. I think they're just saying that to give people interpretation that, oh, they're actually going to get on top of it. I think they're just saying that as just for face. They don't really want to change it, and neither do the Conservatives. And I think if they did, the Conservatives would undo it as well. But what do you guys honestly think? What do you guys make of this story about Lord Alli lending £62,000 to bail out a peer? Do you think there's definitely a conflict of interest there? Let me know your thoughts and more down in the comments section below on this exclusive. If you found this video interesting, please hit the like button. We greatly appreciate it. Share it across social media so others are notified of this video. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing because it really does help support the channel. And if you want to go one step further, financially support me and the work that I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p. Or you can join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content on those platforms. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.